Hello, and welcome back to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, The Chronicles of House Weirlight. Hello, House Weirlight. Do you how do?
How do? You
We
do.
do.
I do.
Hi. Yeah.
Excellent. Eloquent as usual.
What up, yo? Come on.
That's why I keep it short and sweet.
Henrik's just hyping him up. He's got to deal with all them ladies who want his
I
attention.
do. I got in my game. I pre-gamed for Henrik's sake, so we're ready to go. I'm pretty pumped.
Excellent. All right. Well, last time there was more schmoozing at the twins' birthday, meeting, maybe not meeting a few new characters, but definitely getting to know a few more. A fate was decided between Lady Adderfell and her granddaughter, Mariella. Mariella stating that she has her own plans for her life and she is not going to go along with her grandmother's, and she won her grandmother's respect through it.
You go, girl.
Thank you, but no thank you, Grams. You keep it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. It definitely is basically because you're her granddaughter is the only way that would have worked, you know. That's why Vivian had to do what she had to do to get her way. But that was very interesting. There was some exploration with some blood tea, which had interesting results. And time was spent and characters were met and exchanges were had. So I would very much like to start things off with Tedric, the Lord.
I knew it.
The Lord of Theolden Hall. So Tedric, you were into the second day of festivities. You've a few hours ago escaped the company of your in-laws.
Clutches of my in-laws.
Yep. And for the past while, you and several other Reach Lords have been essentially redoing, looking at battle maps and redoing battles from the War of the Usurper that none of you participated in, and what you guys would have done in order to obviously bring the Targaryen victory. All of you are also on your probably fifth glass of brandy.
Yes.
It's been paced out, we've been brought food, but that's been going on for a while. Tedric, what is it that you're doing now? Are you still doing that? Have you begun to kind of get meet more of your guests?
I'd probably be wandering, if you will, to meet other people and other guests, make sure that I'm seen, that they see me, and all that stuff.
Excellent. So yeah, you're probably out in the garden where most of the guests in the festivities are, and it's kind of slopes down so you can kind of see all of it. It looks like the joust is underway. They've already had a few passes. There are much cheering. A lot of people around there. It looks like maybe one of the melees have begun as well. You're not sure if the archery contest has started or not. There's a few people over near the archery range, but you know, it could just be.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
The archery contest so much. Bows are so fucking incredibly deadly in this game.
Oh, they are. They're literally the most deadly weapon you can have. But
every single time, it's like, oh, those archery nerds.
Measuring wind velocity.
Look at them over there with their strings and their sticks.
Essentially.
Two little wooden
Archers, the nerds of the warrior class.
Ooh,
All right.
Is our nephew signed up for that?
Darren?
He is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Darren signed up for that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I love how archery is the nerd thing, but basically the equivalent of chess is like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Strategy. game of Kings. Kings aren't nerds. Also, of course, Peter Primaris is signed up for it, as are a few others. But yeah, you walking around, you see many of your guests, you hobnob, say hello. Many of you are congratulating you on this fine tournament. Many of you, the decorations, the
peacocks.
The peacocks. Yes, you do
Peacocks
kind of
and butterflies.
yes, peacocks and butterflies. You do walk by several there's like many outdoor buffet tables, most of them holding sweets rather than like meats and whatnot due to the heat. So there are many there's also of course the wine fountain, which was very brilliantly brought up to your wife by that strange foreign party planner.
One of which I still cannot remember his name or get it right.
No, it's something foreign.
Not that you know.
You recognize him when you see him, but you're just
Yes,
like,
I recognize him when
there.
he's but it's like,
he
hey,
is.
you, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Nick something. Like you're not sure. But yeah,
Nickel,
something.
definitely an N-word.
You move past. There are many people always looking to shake your hand. Oh, good to see you, Lord Weirlight. Lord Weirlight, and many people who know you more personally and address you as Lord Tedrick. Yeah. You've been spending, of course, a lot of time with most of the older Reach Lords that you were in battle with. So you've been hanging out with Lord Adderfell. Not Lord Adderfell. Excuse me. Lord Asterwood, your bannerman. Lord Tarley, Lord Ashford. Those men, Lord Redwine as well, Paxter. You of course rode with rode on his ships when you went to teach the Greyjoys a lesson in loyalty. But yeah, many people are congratulating you. It's you've hosted events before, never quite on this scale. But there is a good amount of guests here. Though your recent fortune, you don't really fear probably the price of whatever this is. You're fine.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see this great of a turnout because you're seeing banners from all though you're pretty sure almost every house of the Reach is here. You are also seeing, faces that are fairly certain from other places besides the Reach. There are a few from King's Landing, a few from the Crownlands, the Riverlands, the Westerlands, Mountains of the Moon. It feels good. Yeah. Your father never hosted an event with so many people like this.
You're proud of me now, Father.
Indeed. As you kind of walk about, you of course see your lady wife. It looks like she's entertaining a cabal of people under a tarp. She looks like she is, like you, into her cups. And looks like very much enjoying her time here. It's good to see. Just a moment ago, you swear you saw your son walking with a girl, arm in arm. So that
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things seem correct at the moment.
That's how I know something bad's about to happen.
Aha!
Things are far too good and calm and happy and joyous.
Yeah. Off to the side, you you just hear, "Oh, Lord Tedric." It's a voice you recognize, and you turn and you see, sort of standing calmly, a little more subdued. You see Orton Lucas.
My boy.
Ah, Orton. How have you been?
Busy.
I'd imagine so.
Yes.
Did you have word for me?
Well, yes, I wanted to, of course, thank you for the invitation. I was surprised but pleased, and I did not want to. I did not want to turn it down. Yes, I do have some news. My father has passed.
Oh.
Oh. Well, that is very, very disquieting.
It was he was ill for some time, but it was rather sudden. But due to that, I am with the kind of gestures to you, dispatching of my brother. I am now the kind of closes his eyes a bit, Lord of House Lucas.
Oh, congratulations on honor.
Well, I do thank you, Lord Tedric, though I seem to, I believe, inherited predominantly debt and shame alongside lands. So I've mostly been dealing with that. We have, of course, I was happy to hear that you gained our weird guild that we sent, which, that's like, sorry we did bad things to you money. Yeah, it's essentially oops money. Usually it's used when you murder someone, but it's also for shaming and plots and conspiracy and stuff. Just glad to know that. It's just been very busy, but I was happy to have an excuse to come here. Yes, I won't tell you, it's been slightly difficult. My younger brothers, are, of course, I'm plotting to kill me. So that's been interesting. He kind of just like takes a drink.
I've never had that issue since I had only one younger brother, and, well, he's never really been the fighting or plotting type.
Thorsten. Yes. More of a studier. I've found. Yes. No, I have 4 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters.
You're a mighty sizable family.
Yes, my mother was quite insistent on the size of our brood, though my father do well, as you can see, to the detriment of my father.
Yes. You don't suspect foul play in your father's death, do you?
I do. He just said, due to yes, well, if you want to know the details, of anyone, I would not tell this to anyone, but I would tell this to you, my lord. He had been ill for a certain time, but when I do say he passed suddenly, I do mean we found him at the base of the tower in the courtyard, dead. So.
Yes, that tends to happen far too often.
Of course, everyone is saying accident or, and then of course the detractors are saying suicide. But my father, though the loss of Nathan was strong for my father, I don't believe it was that strong. finishes his cup and then like puts it down and then like reaches over and grabs another one. But I've just been trying to acclimate our senses and whatnot. Luckily, my mother is a very stern bookkeeper, so it was easy to trace everything. But I just wanted to thank you for this chance.
Well, you are very welcome. See to it that you don't come to an untimely demise.
Well, it does help that I am a fair bit cleverer than my brothers, as I have discovered almost all of their plans within the first week. They were quite easy to set astray. They're fighting amongst each other at the moment. It takes a sip. In fact, I would not be surprised by the time I get back that one of my brothers is dead.
I'll reach out and grab myself a glass as well.
Yep, just serve it.
Just my hand starts to go out, the servant rushes over.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. Yes. They're probably going to eventually resort to poison, but that's why we've always had a family cook, but then I've always had my own cook. So that should be, I hope, to suffice. I'm going to need, I have a lot to do, I know, in the coming years. First of all, it's definitely, I need to find a wife, have children, which I never thought I would have to do, but here we are.
I'm sensing a bit of dancing in your words. Is there something that you were wanting to ask of me?
Oh, no. No. I don't want you to misunderstand, Lord Teedrick. I am definitely not asking you to help me find a wife. I think I owe your family far too much to ask something of that. Though I will say, if...
I wasn't referring to that, but okay.
Oh, yes. No, I mean, I have... yes, I do prefer the company of... unique, like, to my station. I would say. But yes. Though, I mean, if you wish to secure my loyalty by planting a wife in my house, I won't say no to it. He just takes a sip of more wine.
Well, we will definitely see about that. If there is nothing else, I do need to make my wrap.
Oh, of course. I also just wanted to, and it kind of gets a little closer to you. I just wanted to also suggest, once I get my house in order, which I will, and you sense like full confidence in his like eyes of like, I will. I'm gonna get it under control. And you know, you've seen Orton. This is a smart, cunning kid. Well, kid, 27, but he just goes, if you need the assistance of House Lugus, just know you have it.
Well, thank you very much, Lord Lucas.
Lord Weirlight. He sips his drink and, you know, excuses you from the conversation. He's like,
I will take a sip of my drink as I continue on my way.
Indeed.
As I sway slightly.
It's good. Listen, it's a party. You get to drink and eat as much as you want in front of a bunch of people. It's pretty cool. You have only been given, I believe, a single restriction from your wife, which is to not enter the melee.
Not even because she was worried about you, just that she didn't want you It would be bad form to win.
It would
a
be-
melee.
It's gauche to win your melee duel.
Yes, I do see your point.
All right. So, is there a place you're going specifically, Teedrick?
I think I was gonna, wander the grounds a little bit on the outside.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Pass through the gardens, maybe past the stables.
Absolutely. As you get near the stables, you do see the joust going,
Mhm.
the lists. It does look like some passes have been made, and there is a knight up, and the banner you recognize. It is one of your newest sworn knights. You have just recently given him quite a sizable quoth of land, as you have just earned a bunch more land yourself. And it looks like he is performing, from my previous role, very well.
Nice.
So that looks good. You also know the stables is where, of course, one of the many presents for your children are being stored. But yeah, you wander and gaze about, and you do see, watching the list, you do see sat on a raised, in one kind of the raised box area, you do see your liege lord, Mace Tyrell. He's sat out there watching and seeming like very much enjoying the joust. Mace is a huge jousting fan. So
I give a slight look over to the stables as I pass by. Toward the back of the stables, more or less.
You
And
I guess you look and you sense it. You sense it. And you know he's watching you.
and then I will continue on the joust.
All right.
I also take a peek at the present.
Yeah,
Make sure everything's in order.
Everything seems quite in order, and
Okay.
your horse master assures you
Alright.
that all is well. Yeah. So, as you kind of are making your way over there, are you going to like the box area, the standing area?
I will go over to Mace.
Excellent. Yeah, you go over there, and there's Spot, and he kind of looks over. He goes, "Oh, Lord Dietrich, hello."
Hello, Lord Tyrell.
That's quite jolly good tournament you have here. It's very fine, very fine. Reminds me of the tournament at Gladesboro. So beautiful there. I believe it was my aunt that hosted that one. And a bit more flowers there, but I've always found too many flowers for too many days just leave a strange stink about the place, But this is quite fine, quite nice. Your skill as host has only been rivaled by the wine you have been bringing me, and he just holds his glass up.
I'll hold mine up to him as well.
Yeah. Thank you again for inviting me.
You are very welcome. Is there anything else that we might be able to get you?
What? Me? Oh, I don't want to be a bother. Although, Like I wouldn't say no. To some. I would love some just a hand food, just maybe some poached quail eggs.
We'll see to it. As I look over to one of my many servants running.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just like, and they drop whatever they were doing and immediately breakneck for the kitchens. Yeah, excellent. Would you like to take a seat and watch the trip?
I suppose I can stop for at least a few moments.
Oh yes, if I can tempt you away from your duties as host. I do have a 49 arbor gold. I am willing to share.
That sounds decadent.
Like, it is. And he will refill your glass. He doesn't pour very good.
I probably don't hang out my glass very good either.
It's true. It's true. Yes, but you sit and you enjoy the joust, and other people are kind of nodding and seeing that it's you. And TJ, you do hear to your right, after you've talked with Mace for a small time, and you do hear, excuse me, my Lord Tedric.
I will turn, yes.
Yeah, you see a girl you've met before. She is a little taller for her age, platinum blonde hair with a lovely silver gown. You see Allura Hightower.
Yes, my dear. What is it that I can help you with?
I was wondering if I might join you for a few passings of the joust for just a small amount of time. My family doesn't often. Well, I'm not able to often watch the joust, and I was wondering, as host, if you could perhaps explain a bit of the rules to me.
Oh, of course! And I'll just bring another chair.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one there. You could just kind of. Yeah, she sits very much down, and she goes, "Now, I understand that the knights must dismount one another.
Yes.
But how exactly is that done with fairness and with rules?"
Well, as you see, they both start at the same time. They both have the same regalia, the same lances and all that. And they have a few options of how to approach it.
Oh, is there more than one?
Yes, they can. If you see that one right there, he's being rather defensive in his posture.
Oh.
And the other one over there, he's being a bit more aggressive.
I see. Is there a danger to being more one than the other?
Well, being more defensive, makes it so that, yes, you do not have the higher chance of getting knocked out of your saddle, but you have less of a chance of knocking the opponent out of theirs.
I see.
The exact opposite with it being aggressive. You have a higher chance to knock them out, but you also have a higher chance of being knocked out.
Well, there are many more nuances to this than I was first led to believe. I think I might, if you don't mind, stay a while and study.
By all means.
Yeah, and Allura will just begin to talk to you. She then, of course, acknowledges Lord Tyrell, and he goes, "Oh yes, young Allura, give my regards to your father and grandfather." It goes, "It will be my solemn oath too, my lord." "Oh, how lovely!" And he just goes back to drinking.
Oh, I will offer her if she wants something to drink.
She goes, "Oh, I wouldn't say no to any offering you had. What do you suggest?"
I just give a little glance over at Tyrell, make sure he's not looking, and I pass her my glass.
Garber gold.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, "Oh. And she has
And
a
I
sip.
quickly pick up another glass.
Mace does not notice. He's very fat and very happy. He's just like, yes. Nice joust.
Nice joust, drink, and food.
He's doing good. Yep. Soon he is brought poached quail eggs wrapped in pork belly. That's bacon for you.
I want to be a fat man at a joust. How decadent. How
How
lovely.
decadent. Yeah, she sips it and she goes, "Oh, I believe this is Arbor Gold, is it not?"
Yes, it is. It's a compliment of Lord Tyrell.
Oh, well, it's definitely, I think, been aged quite well, and drinks it a bit more. Though I definitely believe aired for quite some time.
Yes.
But out here drinking some like big deal.
And yeah, so Allura will definitely like just kind of ask you questions kind of about your lands, because she's like, I've never we've been neighbors for so long, and I know how dependent our family has been on yours. But she definitely asks questions about nothing like boring, like nothing like what is your crop growth rate, but more like, just what are your she asks things like, what are your favorite parts of it? What do you find, what would you find the best thing about your lands?
Personally, I like the rolling hills.
Oh. Yeah,
And,
yes, it seems quite, it is rather a small hills around here. It's most flat most other places.
Yes. The hills, we have stationed our castle up here on the highest point of the highest hill. So that if there is, by chance, which there rarely is, an invasion, we can see it coming from far away.
Well, that does sound tactically sound.
Of course, I prefer the view myself.
She smiles. Look, do you have a place in your lands that is your favorite?
Yes. I don't think we're able to see it from here, but there is an old tree that is off in that direction. I tend to go there with my daughter a lot, and we play Savas.
You and your daughter play Savas together?
Yes, I hate to say it, but she tends to beat me.
Like, your daughter Mariella, I have heard that she is a bit of a famed wit, so it seems that...
Yes, she does have she has her mother's wit.
I see. I mean, obviously, I would believe she would also have your tactical mind. I mean,
yes,
my father has told me of your martial accomplishments.
Yes, I do have some of those. He's really trying not to boast on about himself.
Mm-hmm. Just trying real hard. She goes, I would love to hear about them.
Well, let's see here. I'd say one of my most recent ones, I was at the, Dulvers. And the, those bastards from across the water.
Like, oh.
The,
do you mean the Grey
Iron Men?
Iron Men, oh I see.
The Iron Men, a group of them, I don't know exactly where they decided to come from, but they were making a raid upon the Dover Castle.
Yes, I did hear. I did not know you were personally involved with fighting off Iron Man raid, but I had heard you averted a war.
Yes, quite so. Red Hand, I believe it was. He,
Oh, quite a foul name.
yes, he wields an axe. Well, wielded. He
Oh.
called me a lordling,
Mm.
so I split him in twain with a single blow.
Like, yeah, her eyes go
From
very wide.
ear to ear.
From Nate to chop.
Next.
Yeah, back to the point. She goes, "That is, I don't think I've ever seen such a thing. Not that I don't think terribly would want to, but I'm glad you were able to end the fight so quickly."
Yes, and I will say, Lord Dover himself actually protected my wife.
Did he?
Yes,
So you and the Dolvers are close then?
I would say we are rather close now, yes.
Like nods. From what I've heard, the Dolvers' allies were once a very short list, and it seems that list has gotten larger due to the efforts of you and your house. Was it just you who fought against Red Hands?
No, there was also my son, our sworn sword.
And that is Nymora?
Nymora, yes. And of course my son, Henrik. Not
Yeah.
Garrick. Though I'm pretty sure he could have given them a run for their money.
She laughs. Like your son Henrik has. I had heard had some fighting experience, but I thought that came from King's Landing.
Oh no. He went with me back in the last war.
Did he?
Yes.
He must have been 14.
Yes. He was about that, yeah. 13 going on 14.
Wow. 14 to enter war and come out well,
Unscathed.
from what I've seen, I would say unscathed.
And he got his first few kills there too.
Wow. She kind of nods. Like, that is... He must have a strong will.
Yes, he does. And then he got a few more at the Dolver's place.
I see.
And let's see, where did he get? Did he get any others that I can think of?
Well, I know he defeated many opponents in the Joust Kingdom.
Oh yes,
Everyone...
he defeated the Viper.
I heard. All the Reach is in a tizzy over it. You must be very proud.
Very much so.
Did you encourage Henrik to joust, or was that more of his own goals?
That was more of his own goals. I've never really been the best jouster. But yes, he has definitely made me and probably his grandfather very proud.
Like, I see, and Henrik never got to really know his grandfather.
No, he really didn't. By the time Henrik was aware as a person, his grandfather was long gone.
Nods. I see. Well, I've yet to actually been formally introduced to him. But
you haven't been formally introduced to Henrik?
I have not. No, I have not had the pleasure.
Well, then let us go and find him.
Oh,
Mace, it was a pleasure seeing you here. I must take this lady to introduce her to my son.
He goes, "Oh, well, yes, of course. Yes, well, Lord Weirlight, my lady, yes."
And I'll make sure those eggs keep coming.
Yeah,
You just let them know when you're done.
Yeah, Laura's like, "Oh, I mean, I wasn't trying to imply.
Nonsense. You need. If anybody's going to introduce you, it should be his father.
All right." She smiles and.
Oh,
I'll
no.
track down one of the servants.
Yeah.
Like, do you by chance know where my son is?
I do, my lord.
All right, lead us to him.
Of course, my lord. And
Stop success, whatever they were doing.
yeah. So oh my god. Yeah. So Henrik, you are kind of fully sort of suited up, essentially.
Yeah.
You're kind of waiting in the wings for the semifinals because this is sort of a rank. This is, it's a birthday tournament, but it's also a ranked tournament, and
Of the joust or the melee? It's the joust, right?
the joust, yeah.
Okay, I was
so
the melee. Yeah.
no. So this is the joust.
Okay.
Because in a ranked tournament, because you got so far in the royal tournament, you essentially have the right to just enter the semifinal of literally any tournament for
Dope.
like the next year, essentially.
Shit. Okay. All right.
So yeah, if you can kind of just get past the beginning part. There's a couple nights like that. Like Barristan Selmy almost never participates in the early parts of a joust, right? He's
Yeah, I
almost
remember
always
seeing
just
him in the
front.
early stuff, but yeah,
No, he
I guess
wasn't
that
in
makes
there.
sense now. Yeah. He'd have to squabble to get up to the round 2. Yeah, I got it.
Mhm. Yeah, so you're just kind of in there. You're sort of in your full plate. Your helmet's not on. You actually have your proper boy. You got Felix with you, your buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Yep. Felix Black. He's there with you.
Missed him.
Yeah. You've gotten to hang out with him for the past little bit.
Good.
Nymora, you of course had escorted him here, and you're kind of been. You guys are just kind of hanging out. You guys have some. You have some ale. It's your birthday.
Keeping an eye on things.
Yeah. So you're just kind of in this waiting tent.
We're shooting the breeze, really chill. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in your kind of tent, your father walks in.
I think I immediately stand. You see? Yeah.
Yeah, you see.
I think something's wrong.
Kendrick, you see, of course, your son, Nymora, and Felix Black, who you know is Sir Cedric's squire, but also your son's friend, childhood friend.
It's great to find you here, Henrik.
Yeah. Hello, Father. Are you
Oh, yes,
going to watch me joust?
of course.
Oh, okay.
But first, there's somebody I would like to introduce you to. This is Lady Allura.
And
Lady Allura, this is my son, Lord Henrik.
yeah, so you make room, and appearing behind him, Henrik, kind of seeing her for the first time, you see, she's about 5'6", 5'7", thin sort of shoulders, long, elegant silver gown, almost like of a velvety material, with sort of not quite low cut, but kind of enough to bear her shoulders and her
Breach style, low cut. I got it. Yeah,
very much so. And she has very long, platinum blonde hair, and very kind of stunning, of these deep kind of green eyes, and she comes in and she is blushing.
Whoa.
Just
immediately. Okay.
And she goes, she looks like she's just as maybe a little lost as you.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, and then you kind of stare at her, and then she stares at you. And then after a few moments, she looks like she goes, oh, and then she she curtsies. And she goes, happy name day to you, Lord Henrik. As your father said, I am Allura of House Hightower. And then she kind of looks down and just smiles.
Oh.
I'm very happy to meet you.
I think my eyes go wide for half a second as I dart between her and my father. It's out of anyone who in this in our house who was going to introduce me to a girl that I could possibly marry. My father was definitely on the last tier of the
Yeah,
list.
so I know you were
expected.
definitely a little shocked.
Oh, my dad's here. Oh, he's gonna introduce me to a lord or like a general. Oh, it's a girl. Oh shit. Okay. Oh boy.
I catch his luck, and I'm like, well, you two probably have lots to talk about. I'm just gonna go and
So much.
take care of a few things before you're in the house, and I will turn and exit.
Yeah, you notice Felix is stood super straight up and is like wiping his shirt off.
We were like mid-eating for that time. We
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
you guys were
relaxing, chill.
relaxing and chilling.
Oh my god.
Nynora, what is your reaction to all this?
I am struggling real hard not to smile because I know that Tedrick is nowhere near as stupid as he likes people to think that he is, and he knows exactly what he just did.
Yeah.
And so I'm just I kind of lean towards Henrik a little bit. Is my lord, do you want refreshment brought in for your companions?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Lady Laura, would you like something to do? Yes, please, Laura. Thank you.
I would. It is. I have found myself rather warm. So yes, I think that would be nice.
Oh, that is just to see. It's wonderful that it's such a beautiful day outside today, but it does terrible things with the heat. But it is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Laura. I'm so sorry. I feel like we should have met ages ago, yet it seems just only now our paths have happened to cross.
I don't mind it.
I lay a hand on I clamp a hand on Felix's shoulder.
Hey,
Yeah.
come here.
Hey, Felix, do you want to come with me and
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I
Let's
should,
go.
lady.
Let's
My
go.
lady.
Thank you.
Like, my lady. And he just like bows.
Let's
Thank
go
you.
ahead and
Okay.
you can look after Dread of Night for a few minutes while I go get some refreshments, yeah?
Oh yes, I must see the onyx as well, and he just like
Thank you. Yeah.
guys.
But
With
excuse
that
myself.
perfect verbal smoke bomb,
That was great.
you
That
excuse
was
yourself.
great. Tedrick actually left the camera. Okay. Oh my god.
And then
Um,
when you're alone, you notice her like hands are clasped together, and she's just like, I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't-
please sit. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's all right.
Oh, thank you.
I
I would
apologize
like
if
to.
you. Oh.
yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead,
no
go
more.
ahead.
No, I would like to say is that when I get Felix out of there, I'm just like, I'm not missing this for the world. I'm going to.
Are you like
nods.
hearing
Yeah,
it? Oh
I'm
my
going-
god.
Oh, he
I-
fully nods.
I flag down a servant to get them like some finger foods and some wine to be brought into the
absolutely.
tent. And then
No,
we'll
you and Felix for sure just like stay by the tent. and
yeah,
listen.
we're both crouching outside of the tent, listening to this.
Oh, for sure. No, Felix has got to listen to
course.
that, bro.
This is prime soap opera material. I'm
Of
just.
course. Either like
Um,
completely hit out of the park or, fail miserably. Either way, it's real funny, so.
Believe
Yeah,
it.
so you gesture to have her seat of like one of the two chairs in here, and she'll sit down very ladylike. She moves with like a very certain grace. It might be the dress; it's very flowy, but she moves with an almost like elf-like quality. And as she sort of sits, she sits there and she's kind of like messing with her hands a little bit, and she's kind of looking around and then smiles at you and like, huh. She goes,
Okay.
no,
No, go ahead. It happens. I put my hand like close to her, but not like touching her, just like nearby to like that. It's like I apologize for, of course, never for me. It's wonderful to meet you finally, but for I suppose the way we had to be introduced.
Unfortunately, Lord Henrik, I do believe that is actually my fault. I was speaking to your father, and he was telling me about some of your exploits, and I just happened to mention that I had never been formally introduced to you, but I said you had. I don't think it matters what I said, but but then he just insisted that we meet, and here we are. So I am sorry if I interrupted your joust ritual. Do you often
Not at all.
it's just like you seem very comfortable in armor.
I am. It spending nearly a couple days in it straight will do that to you. Plus, being it for a few weeks ago for most of the week for the joust in King's Landing got me. Feels almost like a second skin at that point, but mostly I just prefer to be in normal clothes and something else. But I'm glad you asked my father to meet with me. I had heard you were coming, and I was finally curious to meet you, and especially since we are so close by, and I felt like I knew most houses in the region.
I must admit, I wasn't sure you were aware of my existence.
Well, I would like to claim that I was, enraptured by your beautiful name alone, and that itself drove me wild to discover who you are. I'm ashamed to admit it was mostly a result of my mother and father a few months ago presenting several people to me, individuals
really,
that I should meet.
Well, that was, I suppose. She kind of like chuckles a little bit to herself. She goes, "That was quite good. I've always found my name. I don't know. I'm just
alluring. I'm sorry. That was really bad."
She closes her eyes and chuckles a little bit.
That at least once. I'm very sorry.
She definitely, like, when she starts chuckling a little hard, she covers her mouth a little bit, and then she's just like, No. I'm shocked, but in a good way that you went there. No, I've always found, I thought, I don't know, I thought I was, I don't know. Well, I mean, you obviously saw the connection between my name and the word, but I always just felt they were hopes my family put on me that I was not entirely prepared to give, but I'm glad you like it.
That does seem like an unfortunate burden parents do seem to put on their children.
It's a small one, I'm sure, compared to the ones I think you've had to shoulder. I hope you don't mind, but I had never really heard of a lord going to war at 14. I hope you don't. I hope you don't find it rude, but I just am. She kind of like looks down. How? It's going to sound strange.
No, it's quite all right.
How did you? I don't know how you went through that, and what you've done from what your father has told me, and of course your recent exploits. In King's Landing, and all the accomplishments that you seem to have gotten by now, soon, I believe, to be of the age of majority. How you have stayed. Well, I hear things. One might say gossip on most individuals in the Reach.
In the Reach, gossip? No such thing.
She smiles. She goes, "Yes, perish the thought." But I would think a boy with your man. She gestures. Excuse me.
Whoa. Yeah.
With your history would be different than you are. And you, from all accounts, are, well, I do hope you do excuse my speech, but how are you not a prat?
I actually start laughing at that. Hear the chuckles from outside, from the tent, which I'm sure, my Warren Felix are trying to stifle right now. Well, gosh.
And also, usually, young men are driven to their fathers to be such things, but you, from what I hear, this is all your own choice.
All of it being my own choice may be a slight exaggeration. I do acknowledge that I was lucky enough to be given quite a bit of freedom in my house and in our family's lands, and I'm only now just realizing how fortunate that was in several ways, but how it may have also limited some aspect of me taking responsibilities, which I am now coming to terms with. And sooner rather than later, which I'm glad at least now I'm finally realizing, I suppose all of my siblings and I and our entire house were maybe generally ushered to pick a certain path. I don't think my father would much appreciate it if I decided to dedicate my life to being a maester, although I think he would have, after a few harshly coded words, he would have actually accepted it. And I knew that growing up. And I knew I had those choices if, but expectations were there, and thankfully their expectations did line up with my own interest, which is another thing I'm very fortunate for, that just so happened to work out. And as for not being a prat, I think that mostly has to do with me having a twin sister and her knowing me better than anyone, and also having the freedom that she has, being very unafraid to put me in my place when I start to stray in that area.
She nods, goes, well, the fact that you listen to your sister, I think, speaks volumes.
When she repeats herself enough and yells enough, I kind of have to, so yes.
I wish my brothers would listen to me.
You seem very wise, like my sister as well. They should.
Do I? She shrugs. I just see. The fact that you weren't even offended by that question and gave a true answer, I think, cements what I've heard. Small things here and there. I've had to create a picture of you like a weaver creates a tapestry, just thread by thread. No one seems to have a whole picture of you. Which at first I thought made you mysterious, and then I realized I just think haven't maybe gone out as much.
That's oh, I can hurt a little bit. That is.
Well, I don't mean any offense because
No, only the fact that it's true until I left to the Islands with my father. I didn't go out much. I was allowed to go around in our lands, but that was about it.
Well, see, I understand that. I wasn't even allowed to go to our lands. I wasn't supposed to leave the tower. my parents and my grandfather are very well, my grandfather has a lot of ideas of the place of women, and he's very vocal about them. I thought a man with so many daughters might feel differently, but he does not. And she just kind of shakes her head. I'm sorry. We were talking about you.
No,
and then I made it
it's all right.
about me.
I'm very interested to hear about that. That's unfortunate that you weren't. Well, I suppose allowed
I'm
me freedom to learn to be yourself.
I'm sorry that
can't-
I've already brought a heavier subject in the beginning instead of doing light talk. I just don't know when I'm going to. Like.
Well, if you, I can get your meaning. I'm not. I think that you're just not sure if you're something like this would happen again. So, and I
She
hope
nods.
we meet again. But in case it is a while till we do, why don't you ask me some questions about anything, about me, these lands, about. I think my father mentioned jousting, or something like that.
She
And then
smiles.
I can ask you questions about you or your life, if that's all right with you, my lady.
It would. It would be very. It would be very all right. I had heard. Well, I have pieced together that you are. Well, I'm sure you are many things. A man is. It is rare that a man is few. But I have heard, though you can be very charming, as I have seen for myself. You speak with a. I've spent my entire life sitting in courts, and very few lords speak the way you and your father speak. Which is, I guess, what would be the term? From the heart. Though you both say them.
I thought you were going to say very foolishly. I've been told. I've been called before.
Ridiculous. No, though you both say your heart, express your heart with eloquence, I will say. I have heard of your, talented mouth wit. She goes like beet red, like she's
just like smile and nod with like that raised eyebrow, like, oh, have you now? Okay.
But I guess wanted to know more about you, especially since it seems my father is not nearly as clever as he likes to be, or at least he. Though my father goes to many events, I go to very few, as I've said, and if he has brought me, there is a reason. And regardless of that reason, I would just wanted to take the opportunity to get to know you and your family and your lands. I don't know if I'm going to be entertaining of a conversationalist. I rarely leave Old Town, but I have studied a lot. And I've gotten very good at finding ways of finding out what is going on in the world. I've had to, because if I wanted to know, no one would tell me unless I found out for myself.
That's very driven of you. I have that, actually.
Well, just kind of shrugs, I suppose. but I would like to know more about you. I mean, you're 16, yet are also a a jousting phenom, and a veteran, and of a war, and a significant one, and you aided in the stopping of a war. Apparently, seems you've done a lot. So I guess my of all those things, I have so many questions, but I believe the first one would probably be. Whew, she just kind of looks like she's thinking, and kind of looks up at you with her emerald eyes. Um, with her hair framed by her platinum hair, kind of.
Cool, cool.
Mhm. We're cool.
Cool.
I go. With all that accomplished, who were you looking to be?
A better lord than my father. And I do not say that. I should not say that. That sounds rude. But my father is an excellent lord and a good father to all of his children, especially what I put him through. But I think I came to that same realization you did about myself, that I had done so much so early in my life, and how little that all meant, and how ready I was to take over these lands and protect my family. And I realized that I admire my father and both my parents greatly, but I see certain things and how they are stuck in their ways. And I want to use the stuff anything that I know and the things that I've witnessed and experienced, and use that to be better.
Yeah, Allura looks almost taken aback. Um, and she just kind of goes, "This is very strange."
I didn't mean for it to sound that
No,
serious. I
no,
apologize.
no, 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 no. You misunderstand. See, that's the same thing I've always strived for. But with my own family, I've always wanted to be better than my mother or father and grandfather. I'm not set to inherit. I'll inherit nothing. I'm a woman, but I think it's good to strive to be better than the generation before us. After all, I mean, the war, rebellion, uh, mass murder. There's so many old grudges, so many old wounds that can be healed, but the older generations refuse to let them be. They believe that there is, I don't know, honor in it. But I can't see the reason in it. I guess I understand their reasoning, but it's not good ones. And I just feel if people would listen more. I mean, you helped avert a war rather than aid one side in winning it. I mean, that already is good. Not saying that I'm not trying to give you full credit. I'm sure there were
That's
many.
good because I had very little to do with that. I did help my I needed, but I am glad I had a small part in that because it not only stopped possibly a civil war and countless lives being lost and our families being ruined, but very selfishly, that's how I met one of my best friends.
Oh. Well, like, that's good then.
And I kind of like put my like very gently, like if her hands are like near it, I'm gonna like put mine over hers, not holding anything, but just like you know, hey, here, like if you don't mind me saying, my lady, I think, well, your family seems rather foolish to not listen to what you say, because I think you see more than anyone else, and you actually have the wits to do something. To, well, unfortunately not do something about it, but at least know that there should be change and at least try to enact something.
Okay, so yeah, when you say that, I think she like will kind of put now her hand over yeah,
That's
for
our
sure,
boy.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of grips your hand and
Whoa.
sort of like which you know you have a gauntlet on, but like
I know, but I was just struck by the move. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I can't
and
feel
she's
it, but
just
I'm
like-
imagining him.
and you see as you finish saying, she just goes like, and she kind of like is breathing a little different and looks off, and you realize like she has slight like tears in her eyes.
Oh.
And she goes, I'm sorry, and just like materializes a silk kerchief and begins to like dab at her eyes, quickly wiping them away. It's just from all of my experience, I just never thought I never thought a man would say that to me.
Love her. Sorry.
Official feminist ally.
Yeah. Listen, yeah. You know, it's just that dumb jock thing that, you know, they're feminists, even though they're like real, like not quite sure what it means yet, but he's there.
Look at the women
Art for sure.
surrounding him. We beat him enough.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a little,
just
he's a little confused, but he got the spirit.
Yeah. You can definitely tell from her demeanor, like it's her family doesn't seem to be the kind who listens to women ever or at all.
Yeah, and that's really sad. Yeah.
And she just nods and goes, I thank you. Those are very, very kind words. I'm sorry. And she's just, you know, dabbing at her eyes. Very unattractive. Ugh.
I don't think so. I think you're right. And then I started in there. I should see about getting you a drink and you can.
At that moment, a servant walks in and goes, refreshments, and he's just like,
Hey.
And he immediately like turns off to the right and like holds the things down, not looking at either of you. There's a plate of finger food, 2 goblets. He says nothing as he just like turns and he goes, and he like turns, not facing either of you, and he goes, anything else, my lord?
No, thank you, Felix. That's all right.
Yeah, it's not Felix.
Yeah.
It's just a random
Oh,
servant.
shit, I
but-
thought it was Felix. Okay,
No,
shit,
just
sorry.
one of your random servants.
Oh, okay. Gerald, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be quite alright. I quickly give her something, some wine, something to hold,
Mhm.
distract herself with.
Yeah, she definitely will. She'll hold it. Go just nods and just kind of like taps her wine, like just kind of nodding. Kind of looks at you and it goes, you know, you can tell a lot from a person from their face and their eyes. And I'm not talking about comeliness, which you know.
I mean, it'd be alright if you did, so I'm sorry.
She smiles. But I've seen the eyes of people who've gone through what you've gone through. But you still have so much, I don't know, life and hope in yours. Takes a very I think, special kind of will.
Well, there's so much I have to do. So much I get to do.
Whew. I'm sorry that I've continuously drawn these conversations into such serious subject matters, but you did give me permission.
Yeah, I did. Would you mind if I asked you something?
I mean, if you have to, I suppose.
Thank you, you're ever so gracious, my lady. I think I'm just gonna ask her a few questions about her family. I'm sort of like, I don't know if she has like any brothers or sisters. Like, what's like if probably like what's her.
She goes.
Because she lives in Old Town. I kind of want to like a little bit about that. Like, what's
She
like growing
says-
up over there.
Oh, she goes. Oh well, I have 10 siblings.
Oh my god! Spit out some of my wine. Too of it. Oh, and I thought mine was ambitious. Okay.
I was closest with my eldest brother, Byron. He he's not. She just kind of like looks down. He passed in the Greyjoy Rebellion. He was 19. And he was not a warrior. He was a scholar. Very good one. Not a half bad courtier either. He was very witty, and very funny. And we were fiendishly close. We often he would sneak me out of my room and things like that. It was good times. But when the Greyjoy Rebellion happened and our port was blockaded in the very first attacks by the Greyjoys, we mobilized our forces, but my grandfather demanded that Byron go with them because he was to be heir and that he needed to prove himself a man, all that stuff.
Sort of just quiet for a minute and just
Yes.
I'm very sorry to hear about it.
She nods.
I'm sorry that someone so important to you is gone.
She nods. Yes. I was too. Am. I have my other siblings. When they're not being frightful little devils. My my next eldest brother. He's, I think, going to be a fine warrior. Not quite proven, I would say, but he's very, very serious about becoming a good warrior. He wants to avenge Byron, which I think is ridiculous.
I can understand that a bit, although it would be wise to heed your wisdom. I suppose the rebellion's over.
Well, I do not consider the Greyjoys the one that's killed my brother.
I see.
Shrugs, drinks a bit of her wine. This is the most wine I've had in a day. It's loosening my tongue.
I thought you're enjoying.
I definitely thought us meeting was going to go so differently than this. I have to admit, I had a plan. I was going to talk to your father, and then your sister.
You did that very well. Yes, I
very much wanted to meet your sister. I've heard many interesting things, and
I think you would have.
I was a little too scared to talk to your mother. But I was probably going to make myself at some point. But then I wanted to learn more about you, and I sort of have this. I can be a very confident person once I know everything I want to know about a situation, and then I can feel very confident in going into it. But and of course, I wanted to hear your side. But after talking to your father, here we are. And
okay. I suppose 1 or 2 more glasses of wine, and you will still be a very confident person. But
you've gotten a lot out of me, and I think I've gotten 1 or 2. I think I know some more things about you as well. This not how I thought this was going to go, and I don't.
No, but I am glad you came here, and I'm glad my very brusque father brought you here as well. It's wonderful to meet you, and I like the questions you ask and what you have to say and your insight and everything. It feels good to share it, and nice to have someone who seems like they will listen. And I hope that the answers I've given you have allowed you to create some little more detailed picture of myself.
I mean, you have. When I heard charming, I assumed one thing, but I did not expect you to so quickly and easily get me off my feet. You're very good at taking charge of a conversation. Did not expect that. You also have very, I suppose, protective and very loyal friends.
Yeah. Looking outside. Yes.
Felix and I look at each other.
The 2 shadowy figures that they can see from inside the tent.
We've seen their shadow
Felix,
time.
well, I will say, Henrik, I don't know if you've noticed them.
Should I do an awareness check to see if I've noticed them for my sake? Okay.
Sure.
Because I don't know either. I'd like to think I would have, but yeah.
Naimora, what's your passive stealth?
I don't have stealth. What are you talking about?
So 8. Yeah. So yes,
I'm
then
not
you.
stealthy, but I'm just
But yeah,
Okay.
now Henrik, you are like, oh god damn it! Like you see the hunched feet off like underneath the flap
Yeah.
of the tent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you can tell Allura is like pretending to not look at them, but like she's
I appreciate that about her. God.
I was like, it feels as if you're about to depart me. Before you do, how's my face?
As stunning as when you first walked in the tent. Thank you.
Very well.
I hope to put on a good display since you are a bit new to St. Joust, and hopefully you won't see me land in the dirt. Although if you do, it'll be a learning experience, and you seem to love to learn, so be happy to provide that as well, if it must.
Like, and I was like, yes, I would be happy to learn. People don't die in jousts, do they?
Oh, I get like for quite. It's not in this one. It's uncommon.
She seems to accept that and go,
Mhm.
very well. Like, well, I will. I'm sure I'll be watching you with. I'm sure the rest of your fans.
Kind of, I blush at that. Right. No, it's fine. Dying is forbidden on my name day celebration. Everything's fine, guys. We're fine.
She nods. All right. Then Allura will take her leave, and she will curtsy and bow to you.
Scramble to make myself presentable.
Yeah. She just.
Yep.
Yeah. She kind of comes out and she kind of will turn and look directly at you and Felix, Nemora.
Oh my God.
And she curtsies to both of you. Felix bows deeply. And she goes, like, it's good to see that Henrik has inspired supportive friends. And kind of like looks at you and looks at Felix, and you feel Felix like stiffen a little bit. This girl is just weirdly gorgeous. You know, it's like, you know, there's pretty girls, and then there's just like something out of a fairy tale, which is kind of what this girl is.
I'm picturing like a young, like Kate Blanchett as Galadriel.
Yeah,
Ooh,
very Liv Tyler-y, like very
Ethereal.
And she kind of flows on.
Through the tent, while Felix and I are out, I'm just gonna like dead arm Felix while we're there, like we're listening to the conversation.
Oh, you're wearing a gauntlet!
That's fun.
My lord, do you want me to leave you and your friend alone?
No, it's fine. Namor, you heard the whole thing. You can come in. It's fine.
Poke my head in. You keep seeming to attract the attention of women who are.
Well, I'm glad I can keep them entertained. They keep getting presented at my feet, whether I engage the conversation or not. So, kind of have to be, don't I?
I mean, the Lady Scarlet Primaris, she seems to be intrigued by you. And now the Lady Hightower. And, I mean, I'm just saying, is that there's... You know, people make a big deal about you being very pretty, my lord. But I will be very honest with you. I do not think that these women would be satisfied with just looks. They would eat you alive if that was all you have, but you are holding your own.
I understand that. Henrik gets a slight fantasy of all these women eating him alive, gets really turned on for half a second, and is like, okay, game. Okay. I know I have to keep my wits about me when dealing with the fair sex, especially since a lot of them seem to be much more intelligent than me, and I think they're indulging me in pretending to humor me in such conversation. But I hope I can at least be, if not entertaining, then provide some good conversation, to be meaningful to them besides my dashing good looks, which can't help that.
I think that you are selling yourself short, my lord.
Felix, he goes, really? You just said
I
dashing good
punch him
looks.
in the arm.
Thank you, Felix. Okay. Just like, I do that like fake out punch thing real quick, like,
Yeah,
No, I
right?
punch him in the arm
Later.
for real.
I know you do. Ow!
his other arm, he's
It's the
just,
same arm!
just limp.
Mind your mouth.
I'm not doubting he's charming and whatnot. I'm just saying he said dashing good looks.
You're smarter than you think you are. I know there is this whole thing about how you got the looks and Marielle got the brains
Well, Lady Scarlet's bodyguard just said that I was prettier than she described, which I'm pretty sure mostly means like she was
listen,
talking about what I look like rather than I was talking with her.
You're not. No, she's saying you're smart too.
Yeah,
I know that,
listening.
Felix. I got that. Thank you.
But I don't think that you believe it. And I think that is one of the things that you... Not that I overheard this or anything, because of course me and Felix were very far away.
Of course,
Very far
yeah,
away.
my friends.
I was brushing Onyx.
Because you're a loyal friend, and I know you would never, intrude on an intimate conversation and prayer secrecy. Yeah, of course.
No, of course not. I mean,
Neither of you,
you've inspired such loyalty to me. I mean, I once rode 3 days and nights straight, trying like for you.
But the thing,
Just
the thing about
fine. Got one.
The thing about how you were raised and certain things being unavailable to you in a way. And I think some of that was that you were not allowed to be clever, I think.
Well, I didn't really have the need to be. That was more my sister definitely did. And
Exactly.
Also, I never understood the whole he got the looks, she got the brains thing, because Marielle is beautiful.
That's also true. I think
It's sexism, Felix.
Is it?
No.
I thought, I
Felix,
thought sexism was the reverse of that, calling women pretty and men smart, when women can be smart too.
Felix, can you just go get Onyx ready, please? All
right.
Thank you.
Felix, please.
Thank you.
All right.
Please. It's you sell yourself short. You do it constantly. Then Mariella is my lady Mariella. She's very confident in her intelligence, but you, I think, could stand to be a little bit more. Just saying.
You're probably right. Man, I am really gonna miss you when you and Mariella leave.
I will miss you too. I still don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to be doing, like, other than protecting Lady Mariella. I mean,
I suppose, yes, what you do here.
That is, but I mean, what else am I going to do? It is a bunch of very fat nobles who roll around in wine and flowers, and I mean, I don't know if you're. I'm fairly certain that you're aware, but People in Highgarden are not fond of them
I know.
for a variety of historical reasons that I will not get into at the moment.
They are. Yes, they're. Those grudges seem to have blinded them. And also, most of them are just kind of idiots, to be honest. But I think you'll be alright. I know you'll protect Mari, and I know that you are a lot smarter than you seem as well. And
Oh,
plus,
well,
you have
that's just foolishness right there. I assure you that I'm every bit as dumb as everybody thinks that I am.
I'm more. Listen, you are the one who tells me the most, besides my sister, not to do something stupid. And if you can tell me those things, then I know you at least have half a brain cell more than I do. So I think you're at least in better standing than I am. And if anyone talks bad about you, well, one, you have a title. You proved yourself. I mean, I've always known what you can do and what you're worthy of. I hope that'll be at least a little bit of enough to prove that to people in Highgarden. If not, I'm sure you'll knock a few lordlings on their ass. That's fine too.
That is the thing, is that I don't think that I will be able to. I don't. Lady Mariella's position there is going to be not compromised. What is the word? Teetering?
Tenuous.
Felix, go back to the horse.
Felix! Yeah, that doesn't sound like a word my mother would use.
But that is the thing, is that she is going to be as fish out of water there as I am. She has the benefit of that she is not, she is a reach girl, obviously, through and through. But young girls can be like vipers, my lord. They can be very cruel and very dangerous. And I worry that if I upset too many things, that it will make it worse for Mariana. And so I will not. Even if I want to punch somebody, I can't. But I need to find something to keep myself occupied while I'm there. Otherwise, I think that I am absolutely crazy.
I'm sure you'll find something. Or someone.
So you are about to be called to the list, Henrik, and so as you kind of move out with Nymora, and Felix is sort of getting Onyx ready. There is, just before you kind of get there, there's this kind of really tall, very wide man. He's in kind of similar armor to Nymora right now, which is sort of like, dress armor. And you, of course, Nymora, you actually recognize this guy. This is one of the guards of the Ashfords. You and him shared pocket ham in the.
Oh, this guy! Give him a nod.
Yeah.
Pocket ham.
He gives you a nod. And he kind of comes up to you, Henrik. He goes, "My Lord Henrik, if I might delay you but a moment, my lady wishes to speak with you before you entered the field of victory."
Oh no.
What?
Do I know who this is? Well, I don't say that. Do I know who Aaron? Do I know who this is?
On his on a clasp of his chest of a rising
I can put it together.
So
You know
yeah,
it's a Shella.
I can put it together.
you know the Ashford symbol.
Yeah.
I look at Henrik and I'm just like, you're on your own.
What was she saying about young girls, pit of snakes, something like that? I don't say that, but yeah.
Something like
And she
that.
goes, Henrik, oh, there you are. Oh, and then walking over to you, you see a Shella in a gorgeous, like lavender purple, dress, cut low, definitely accentuating her several physical aspects.
Huge tracts of land.
Huge tracts of land, indeed. Glints of jewelry at her throat and upper ears.
She's still keeping with the red purple theme. That
It's seemingly so. You don't see much as the red, more just like kind of a purple, like today. And her hair is up in this sort of gorgeous, like jeweled cage almost. And she goes, there you are. It has been some time, not since the feast. I think we talked last. You look phenomenal in your armor. And she kind of like takes up your hands, and kisses you on both cheeks. Which is a pretty normal. That's a pretty normal reach greeting.
Oh,
usually between adults and good friends. But yeah,
right.
That's not like out of nowhere or weird. That's like pretty normal for the reach.
Yeah, but still,
she's definitely never greeted you that way in the past. But there it
is.
And she's like, I swear, I might just be your name day, but I feel like you've gotten taller. There's something about your gaze, it's more striking.
My lady, you flatter me, so I appreciate it nonetheless.
Well, I mean, you're worthy of flattery, aren't you? You're Henrik Weirlight.
Yeah, I work at that same side at the same time. Okay.
And she goes. I'm sorry, Zalea, but what do you think of this dress? Of this dress? Too much, too little. Color good. Color yes. I'm dying to know your opinion. You always were the most fashionable of the Reachmen. I've always found that most of the Reach boys have their mothers dress them, but there's always a certain flair to you, and I'm dying to know your opinion.
I do give it a quick once over for me personally to actually like critique.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's give a Shella's a Shella, but girls gotta fly says the style.
She does.
And she looks. I mean, Shella's kind of a brat in your opinion, but she looks good.
Yeah, man. We're fucking good.
She has her hair, her ash blonde hair is sort of. I think up in that bun.
Yeah.
She got that.
My lady, she does have those huge tracts of land. Man, well, my lady, your dress if I may say, out of most of the ladies' gowns I've seen today is quite stunning and only accentuated by your own loveliness.
I've always loved the way your mouth works, Henrik.
The mouth thing, why?
Listen, people talk, but
you
got a pretty mouth, boy.
All these girls are saying.
What this mouth could do.
What that mouth do. What that mouth do.
Exactly.
He does have really nice big lips, so it's true.
I'm glad my outfit can inspire perhaps the new intensity in your gaze. And you are a naughty boy, I will find. We never finished our dance. How will you make it up to me?
Well, I'm sure there are. Well, it's my name day, but we'll of course have dancing later, and I'm sure we'll have another dance.
I do suppose there will be dancing later, and I'm sure everyone will want to dance, and I don't want to be promised a turn. I mean, I want you to make it up to me. Ooh!
Don't.
I thought.
Don't.
I
know what you're doing.
I know exactly how you can make it up. And she reaches between her breasts.
No.
And she pulls out a lovely lavender, like small, like silk
Fuck.
scarf.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
what it is.
no.
God, no.
Don't take her favor.
Why did
no.
someone else? Damn it, Scarlet. You had
Oh,
like
but
we were
you
together
have
a whole
to.
day. You had a whole day to
Okay.
do some. Fuck.
You could wear my favor. Like, for the king. I was like, I mean, I don't see a favor on you.
Give me a sec.
Like it would make it up. It would make it up to me. Make me smile.
Oh God.
You made your bed, now lay in it.
I didn't even ask for her. She came to me. God damn it. Listen, I didn't ask to be this beautiful, okay?
You made the mistake of
right?
inviting her
You-
personally
I
to our party.
I know.
Aaron, you
I
designed
know.
this character.
I know I did.
Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Why did I do that? Oh God. Why did I make such a disgustingly beautiful himbo who doesn't know what he's on? Sucks. He's so
Women
charming,
fight
but
over me,
so
not that
dumb.
one.
He's not even that
What
neat.
are
He's
you,
like
what are
smart.
you doing, buddy?
Okay.
You could intrigue.
Can I intrigue? Can I like?
I
Because
mean,
I'm trying
if
to
you want to go
show
toe to toe with a Shella, yeah, be
You
my
saw
guest.
me do
Fair.
it.
That
Shit,
sounds
doesn't
like a
work
threat.
very
That's
good.
a threat right there.
Oh. See, Mia's Aaron is a little bit lacking on words. Henrik, he would try to find a way to, God, basically, he wants to basically what Mariella did with the grandparents, like find some way to diffuse that. I'm trying to find a way where I could say something that won't get me to kill. She wants to kill me.
That would be. I would be very impressed if you could find those words, because I can't think of any myself.
If I could find the words, would there have to be an appropriate role for that as well, or would you just tell me?
Oh, if you want to deny her without insulting her, you will have to intrigue her.
Okay. Okay.
That is the only way. Because
That's a good idea, actually.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. That's a good idea, actually. Okay.
It's not bad.
Well, good idea. Not too. Are we out in the open? We're kind of out in the open. We're close to the open.
I mean, you're around some tents. Like, it's not like everyone in this area.
In Game of Thrones lore, I would know this, but me as Aaron's still foggy.
Sure.
Are favors like predominantly displayed, or are they like a personal thing, like only you and the person you give them to?
It would be like tied on your arm or something.
Or on your lance.
Okay.
Yeah, or on your, well, probably not on your lance, but because lances explode. But
It's shown.
Yeah, it would be shown. Yeah, I mean, there's not a symbol on it, right? But it would show that you have favor. Also, like, you know, I'll tell you this: Rhaegar Targaryen held the favor of not the girl he liked, and he ended up marrying the girl he did like. It started a war.
Yeah. I got that.
But, you know, whatever. From what you can tell, Ashel wants you to win her favor. That is not necessarily a promise of any kind. If you wear it and display it, it seems it will make her happy. It will definitely make people question things.
That's what I'm worried about. That seems to be more.
I guess here's my question to you. Do you think it will be easier to talk Ashella down without offending her, or do you think it will be easier to explain your situation to the people you care about? Because if you want to intrigue Ashella, I'm here for it. I'm down for it.
Oh god, I did just up my persuasion
Yeah.
and everything. But
Also,
I know
if you wanna
she's got a
do
strong will
what
as
your
well.
mom,
So
if what your mom just suggested, like,
I think I might have to do that. Let me try that real quick. Kind of a bit of a player, so yeah.
okay.
Just kiss her cheek.
Mm-hmm. That's such a good move. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah. No, I can't be a cheek kiss with her. It's got. You can't do that. Oh,
You
damn
look
it.
a little like
Yeah.
Good read,
little
good
corner,
read.
Yeah.
little corner mouth.
Right here.
Yeah. I was like, well, my lady, I believe it is my name day, so I think I should decide how I should repay you. And then I kiss her.
That ain't bad. All right, boy. Give me.
Thank you.
This, we're gonna make a roll out of this.
Performance check.
I'm gonna no. This will be a charm check, obviously.
Oh,
Don't forget you have attractive.
I do. And she's attracted to me, so it works.
She is attracted to you. Let's see what you
Roll
get.
a number of ones.
Don't forget that you
Should I
have destiny dice, my boy.
Should I preemptively? No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if I can just do good for this real quick. If I need to, I'll reuse it. Charm.
Okay. I mean, 15.
That is a 1. I can
There
reroll
was
that.
a one. Yeah, there was a
So-
one roll.
so 1d6.
A d6, yeah.
A 4.
The 4.
One higher.
Delta
So it
place
would
1 and
be-
3, so 16.
Also, the bullshit bonus of 2 for spending money.
Yes,
That's
that's
funny.
true. And
As,
that's-
as an
18.
elegant peacock crows in the background,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
that's,
a butterfly lands on top of Henrik's head.
yeah, that is in fact that would be an 18.
Yeah.
Um,
It's quick,
so,
but like I hesitate for just a second
you
while
wanna-
on lips to like register the
You
kiss.
want to know what the target number was?
Yeah, I'd love to.
It was 18.
Oh my
Nice.
god, for real?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Way to
Difficult,
fucking go, dude.
She's high on that one. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's here with a mission.
She's got a
but
plan. I respect that.
It was a difficulty of what's the term? It's something like unthinkable. I think is the
Unthinkable to actually
yeah,
charm to legitimately charm her. Yeah.
yeah. You kiss her, and it's not like a quick kiss. You kiss her, and you dip her, man. And then you take her back up, give her a wink, and the whole the only love. And that's the only luck I need. And then you turn and walk on. Raymore, you of course witness to this, and you see Henrik very quickly walking.
Yeah.
I'm
It's weird confusion.
looking at Shella. Like, what's her reaction?
Yeah, she's very much like you did like
Yeah.
shell shocked a little bit.
Yeah, I have that effect on women.
She looks shell shocked, confused, almost concerned about whatever. Just like, but not like it's hard to read her. But she's just like,
Yeah, he does that. I'm gonna leave.
and she's just like she's touching her hair. Like, excellent. Well,
Follow after Henrik.
masterfully done.
Thank
my
you,
God.
thank you, Mama Weirlight, for suggesting that. I appreciate it. It's such a good move.
Heard your
You
mother's
just
your mother's
remember
voice.
a lesson that your mother gave that you overheard give Merrick. And remember, if all else fails, if you can't reason with him, just kiss him. And we'll definitely forget whatever we were talking about. That's what you get a few times.
Yep.
Yeah, the power of being pretty. And rich, I think, would be
Yes.
the reason one is the power of being pretty.
Just worked out.
Yeah. So we wash away from Vu. And we kind of, I think we will, I think we're going to use this opportunity. We're going to take a break there. And then when we come back, we're going to see what Mariella is doing. So be prepared for that. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a nice quick break and
We'll be right back.